Welcome, everybody, to TotalPodcastKill podcast. I'm your dungeon master, Cody. And I've been talking to Zexor, and he's got some stuff to say. He's new to this whole realm, and he wants to talk about it. Gage. Well, there's a lot to be discussed. I'll say that. I just realized I don't think it's picking up your audio. I see you talking. Yeah, it's not. Hold on. Hey, we work these kinks out as we go. Kinks, you say?
Entire time, like we're gonna have to fucking redo this shit. And be like, all right, from the top, this is what we do. This is what we pay here. This is we doing it live.
Well, we got you now. But hey, like you said, we're doing it live. So,
All right.
for those who are not so good at reading lips, Gage, why don't you tell us who we're playing again?
I was looking at this. I thought this was the fucking camera for a second. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so like I was talking, if you're able to read lips, if you're able to read these bad boys, I made this survival guide for Zexor in his point of view of being his first time on the surface and experiences throughout. And my motivation and inspiration from this was Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, if you've seen that back on Nickelodeon in the day. And I thought it would be funny to make this and do small little tidbits of the sessions and things that have happened and occurred. And this first episode is the first experiences of the surface. There are other ideas and other episodes coming out. I have 6 down already. So we'll go from there, and basically it's session by session of what happened and kind of talk about it, joke about it. Oh god, wait until you get to the fucking 4th episode.
I almost forgot to say. We'll keep it spoiler free, but again, we're talking about the sessions. So if you haven't seen them before and you're watching this, spoiler alert.
Go watch it. Go watch them.
Goku dies.
I almost choked on my fucking Pepsi.
So
Goku dies at the end.
let's get into Zexor's background a little bit. I'm interested in this love interest, Sahiri.
That's not a love interest. That's his oracle.
Yeah, Oracle. There was a slight flame there. I felt it.
I would think not, because I mean she was way older, but he didn't see her as that. Sahiri, see her, a sister.
Sahiri. Whoa, sister.
Sahiri,
Whoa.
No, I was saying that because I said see her, see her, Sahiri, see
Sahiri.
her.
Yeah. Sahiri. So yeah. You were under Sahiri's tutelage, which is a word that I just recently learned.
Yes.
I thought you were making that word up. I'm not gonna lie. When you told me that, I googled it and I was like, "What is tutelage?"
You're like, what the fuck is
Is he
this?
memeing me or what?
You're like, the fuck is this word? His vocabulary.
But no, tutelage is a real word for those out there that didn't know.
The more
Me,
you know.
I'm one of those people. So we meet Sahiri, and she drags you through, these vast open chasms that, I mean, it's still pretty mysterious to anybody in this world. You are the first example of this place being shown.
Which is not supposed to be. And if the oracles or those who had the higher knowledge were only allowed in, anyone who was brought in, they would be killed. And eventually, stuff happens. Like I said, I don't know how much you want me to talk about and put in this because
Well,
spoilers. But this
yeah,
is like the beginning of the background. This is literally episode 1 where we talk about what happened.
yeah. Let's rewind it a little bit. Let's go back to. Let's start with just the deep reaches themselves. These are these vast underground cave systems that are so deep within this world that, like, even subterranean creatures are pretty rare in this part. But as we've seen from episode 1, there was this, society of dark elves there. One of them being Zexor himself. And, Sahiri and Zexor, I'm pretty sure, were you guys the first one? Was you guys the first introductions?
I think
Havoc wasn't it? It was Havoc. But anyways, these are still two of the first characters that we met.
yeah, Havoc was first, then it went me, then it went Gary because mine led into his.
Yeah.
And doing so, oh my god, I feel so bad for Nicholas because he sat there for 45 minutes just.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes.
Had to sit there and wait and listen to all our shit.
And then, as long as everybody's cool with it, sometimes there's just some games where certain players shine. But yeah, so we meet Sahiri and Zexor, and then we're guided into the chasm of the first fire, which we're gonna lore dump a little bit on you right now. This is this primordial power of this ancient dragon deity by the name of Zorquan. And I like to think of these primordial powers like that as, I don't necessarily want to say like birthplaces of magic, but and we're building this world together as we go. So
I would say like conduits or like, not like you said, like it could be like a small source, like the areas that they're in, like it's like different energies pulled from different areas, and the deep reaches are interconnected. So those who are listening and seeing this too is like, the hell are the deep reaches? This is something that I made with Cody. Like I was thinking it was going to be the Nether Deep or whatever it was I called it, but I was like, that's too close to Minecraft, so I call it the Deep Reaches, and it's going to be pretty much the replacement of the Underdark.
that would have been really cool though if we just made the Nether in D&D.
Just walk around here. Oh fuck, a ghast.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently, so it fits.
Dude, don't do that. You'll be driving here a fucking other skeleton.
Yeah, that would be dope. I've been getting into it that hardcore though.
Dude, that shit was funny.
So, anyways, the chasm of the first fire. This is, these enormous, magnificent crystals that have been embedded in this world since the beginning of time. And only these oracles have only ever had access to communicate with this raw power. Not only because at first it only speaks to them, but not only that, this power is so like raw and primordial that like any normal person, no matter how great they are at handling magic, would probably be eviscerated on the spot. And we've seen a slight example of this, as Sahiri had to pass on this message to Zexor. spoiler alert, she acted as a conduit that chained Zexor to this power, and she walked him through. And, as they walk this primordial slipstream, sick ass name I just made up, by the way. He's seen those raw energies that tie this whole world together. And like I was saying, I like to see these places as sources of power that seep up into the surface world that we know today as like Fireball, Magic Missile, Tasha's Caustic Brew. These are the raw forces that propel these spells. And it's only those sorcerers and wizards, warlocks, that traverse the surface plane, learn to manipulate those forces. But this is something different. What Zexor is dealing with is like raw, tangible energy. And I don't know, as we go along, I keep thinking about that and like building on the lore of that. And because what I like to do is like, Zorquan is a Faerunian deity, but I like to take these things and like, man, I love that story. It's such a good story. Let's play with that. Let's see what we could do with it. Let's grab those nuts.
Twist it.
Yeah, let's grab those nuts and twist them.
Let's grab that dick and twist it.
I cast testicular torsion.
Those who cast testicular torsion, I cast mend butt crack. Try shooting now, smooth ass.
But we've seen, clearly no knowledge of the surface down here. It's only been maybe talked about in bedtime stories and stuff like that, but Sahiri tasked Zexor like, hey, you got to go to the surface. Now, you being Zexor, you never heard of the surface. What do you think he was thinking about in that time? Like, hey, guess what? You got to go to a whole nother world.
He was probably just like, it's like, I'm 117. Like, I've never been up there. I'm not. I'm like it's just a speechless thing. Like you don't know. Like even me being asked that, being put in his shoes as someone who's trying to be a voice actor and an actor now and all that shit. It's like if someone told me to go somewhere I've never been. I would have been like, I don't know what they speak. I don't know like what to expect. I don't know if they're gonna outcast me. I don't know if they're gonna kill me. I don't know if they're gonna like. You don't know what they're gonna do to you. They're not gonna know. You're not gonna know how to react. And then it's just like, "Hi, I'm Bob." Bang.
Yeah. So as you deal with all these new changes, and especially seeing the death of Sahiri, and there was something coming after you. You're not sure what it is, but Sahiri's like the others. They mean to see you dead. So it's either lose your life or go to the surface. So we do, and I really love how it's painted up as like flashes of you traveling through these dark caverns, twists and turns, barely surviving. One time, maybe you even look like Smeagol and you're sitting there like just eating a raw fish in the dark. And we see nothing but the glow of your like subterranean eyes.
Sun coming, not the sun, but you know what I mean? Like a crystal. Like this is how imagine how this is how dark it is, right? And this you see the crystal.
Actually, yeah, exactly. You look like you're in an underground cave right now. This is what a creature of the deep looks like. But we've seen him fighting these, all these crazy subterranean creatures on your way out. There was a crab with a bunch of claws. Some like giant centipede crawling through.
You ever see that one meme where that guy is just fucking like going, ah!
Yeah.
And screaming? That's pretty much what happened with Zexor.
Yeah.
Dude's just fucking mad run screaming. Because, like, he's a sorcerer. But he just awakened his power. It's took him, like, all these years. Like, he never really had a reason to really fight unless, like, dagger, a spear, or... He had an arcane focus. He was given it. He had, like, low stuff. He really didn't have true potential until Sahiri died and he was attached to that conduit.
Yeah.
1 second. That time I muted myself. And so now that he's getting this ignited, he's slowly gonna figure out that he can fight now, which you see later on. And people that are supposed to live, I fucked that up. Spoiler alert.
What part was the spoiler?
The part where the magic missile part. Yeah, keep him alive.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to say non-lethal damage. Oops.
Yeah. And that's another thing we're doing too. I like a real nitty-gritty, by the rules kind of play, especially when it comes to combat, getting into like some heavy strategy. A lot of the times, sometimes that shit goes out the window. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I get into it and I'm just having fun, and then at this point, I just try to hit you as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I fucking noticed this.
it's fun, man. Especially like, I like the risk. I develop these encounters. I kind of take your levels into account sometimes. I don't really do the whole CR system. I'm not a huge fan. I think about like, oh, how much damage could I do per hit compared to like how many hit points you have, you know. And I always teeter-totter on the edge of like this being a super dangerous fight, or you guys are just going to come in and clean it up really quickly.
So it's like, think of like, kind of like we're adventurers, right? We finally, got that level. But like being level 1 for so long doing that, like it was challenging. There were times I'm at work and I'm just sitting there thinking like, I counted the XP. I'm like, if it was the XP, we'd be level 3. Holy shit. And we're just like, I wonder, because me and Gary would talk about it at work, be like, when do you think he's gonna give us a level? And it's like we thought about like, when would it be right? Because if you think about like some people who are in experience are going into it, it's like you're fighting all this stuff, like you're doing all this, doing that, but at the same time, it's like in order to get used to power and energy within your body and other shit like that, especially like someone who's like Zexor, it takes a while of tuning, getting used to it, and just going at it, I guess. Not just like EXP from a kill or whatnot, but the challenges and the threats in your body pushed to the limits. Doing that will make it more attuned, I guess, more used to.
Yeah, and I when we come into it, I always like to think of it like, especially level 1, like as soon as we start the story, I always think of it like you didn't have these powers before. You might have like trained to use like daggers, swords, shields, wear armor, whatever, but I always think of it like a peasant standpoint. And then the start of a game is like you're coming into these powers. So I will say too, when that third level comes up, I like to make a big deal about that, because we take our subclasses and, I don't like it to where it's just like, okay, you leveled up, you get this new ultimate abilities and stuff like that. I like to have this be a development thing. How are you coming in these powers? Why? What's pushing you to that next level?
Yeah, it's kind of like, like we talked about, like pushing yourself and seeing what limits and stakes that you can do to, push the boundaries. And it's like going through it all and like what we killed. Like I won't do like a spoiler of what we fought, but like I counted, we fucked up a lot of shit. And it's like at that point when you get to it and you like strain yourself over and over. It's kind of like how working out is. In order to push yourself to go further, you gotta keep going and going. And like it's like you get the 5 dumbbells, you keep going and going, then eventually you get the other ones. I might be just talking out my fucking dick, but it's now that I'm thinking about it, being level 1 for so long, it pushes the adventure longer. It makes the experience better. and more of to tell as you're first starting off as a little bitch and going off into more because I like you even said you didn't even know when we were gonna level up.
Yeah, that's why I really like the milestone method. Because, like, I feel like the XP goes way too fast. And for something like this, when I do, like, a longer campaign, I like to, like, gauge your levels by, like, how you're doing in the story and where you're going and specifically, like, what you're doing. Like, when you got level 2, you guys had fought, you know, fought your way into the keep, cleared some kobolds out of the street, come up with a solid plan at the keep, encountered more kobolds, seen some kind of weird demons,
Don't
and
forget,
then
I'm a collector of certain things.
oh yes,
Not people. Episode 4 is where you're gonna figure that
yeah,
out.
we'll save that for the next one. Let's
That'll be
give them a
episode
chance
4.
to get there.
I'm a collector of certain things.
Yeah. Man, you made me lose my whole train of thought. Now I'm
I'm
just thinking
sorry.
about that. What was I
We got
going
to the
into
keep.
next?
Talking about the
Oh,
keep. We
yes,
got to the
yeah. You
keep.
fought your way into the
Oh,
keep, made a solid plan, you know, made your way, found these civilians in this abandoned town that have been herded up like cattle to be shipped out.
mhm.
You rescued some of those, set them free, and you found out there's more. So like that's a lot of stuff to do. So I was like, you know what? That's a great point. And at the end of that episode, I forgot to tell you guys to level up after that.
Well, I mean, you told us Gary left already, and that's why
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, I brought it up because I was like, hey, it's the 6th section now, and we did all this. Do we level up because of what happened? I won't say
Yeah.
what happened. Spoiler. Go watch go watch it. It's coming out what next week, or is it already out?
Friday.
Friday.
Friday will
So,
be level 2.
and that is the 27th because the 26th is
Yeah,
Thursday.
yep, indeed.
Oh shit! I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do because the 27th is Friday.
Yep.
That's my I work. That's my brother's birthday. Fuck. Um,
Well, it's fine because like I told you, we got
I'm still doing D&D.
little change in the schedule, release wise. And that might not even take effect. It depends on if I get ahead or not.
Okay.
How many we put in the bank? Because the flagship show for Total Podcast Kill, those are like recorded in advance, way in advance. These are so close to like we record, we release, we record, we release, we record, we release, and I really like that because it stays relevant. Like when I've gone back and listened to some stuff like through the editing process of Norlatia campaign, I'm thinking like, oh man, there's some jokes we made in there was like dead memes from like last year. And it's cool though because I listen to those and I'm like, oh, I remember when that happened. That's neat. All right.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
4 score. I had just killed that demon.
4 and 7 centuries ago. But
But yeah, so there's a lot going on in Norlatia right now. I love doing stuff behind the scenes, like while you guys are doing this. There's the cogs are turning in every different place. Somewhere else, something's happening all the time. And you guys go through this world and have these experiences and, fix things. I really
and
like
that's
how it's
pretty
going.
much like what you said. Other things are happening, which is your other party. Um,
That is,
which
oh, God. I'm telling you, that idea is so solid. I'm glad you brought that up.
like when he got to the surface, when he broke free, like right. So he's just like going through this shit, running through this chasm, running through the deep reaches, and eventually he like breaks free from the surface into the surface. My bad, not from the surface. And then like due to exhaustion, Like he's also thirsty as shit, hungry. Like he literally had his adrenaline running. He was being chased by this fucking weird ass creature. He wasn't sure what the fuck it was, and he fell over, passed out.
Do you know
Then
what I
we
just
clue
thought
in
about real quick?
what?
What if you died during this journey before you even made it out? And it's like that meme where it's like this movie in 5 seconds.
A 5 second film.
You don't
five
make it
second
out of the
film.
surface, you die. Story's over. Move on to the next one.
You fucking see the light of the surface, and the monster just.
But yeah,
yeah, he
tell
gets
us some Zexor's point of view. You know, you come up,
so
have this harsh journey to the surface. You finally make your way through. What was that like?
like he gets up, and it's like this blinding light. Like all he knows is dark, dim, like this. So just imagine this, right? You're used to seeing this crap, and then out of nowhere, batshit nowhere, someone's just like, "Hey, watch this shit. Welcome. Look at God."
Ah!
So what happened was like when he first had that happen, like it blinded him, it hurt him. He got out, fell to his knees, tried to rub his eyes and everything, and like he was like I didn't obviously acted out because we were we had to do people's quick, but extra added, he was like rubbing his eyes and shit. Like he was obviously in shock. Like, his body was in shock, and so he fell over and passed out. Peter Griffin death pose, you know, just passed out there. And then Gary, which is Fenrir, finds him and goes to wake him up. And he wakes up and goes, "Dad," falls over because he's never heard his dad's voice before, so he thought that was him finding him because he was so fucked up. And then it goes into the point of like maybe a couple days of restoration, being fed, being taken care of in this church that Fenrir took him into the city of it would be what, Liloria?
Yep, City of
And
Leiloria.
they bonded. He taught him a little bit of Draconic, I believe, and went over some stuff and helped him get accustomed. Pretty much is very thankful and is helping out whatever needed. But there is one asshole who was racist because he was a dark elf. And dark elves are the hell was that?
System dings. Damn it.
Well, yeah, so a lot of people aren't used to dark elves, and it's just like, bleh! But no, some people just don't like them because it's like they're different. No one knows what they are. No one can trust them. But eventually, the guy does, and after the 2 weeks of getting the food and learning of what the surface is like and all these things, it's like, what the fuck? Because in the ground, there's not much high areas to go to. Zexor sees this open fucking world, so mass and open, like these different colors, different things, these other houses, the buildings. It's so wide and so vast, but yet unpredictable. That was such a great drop in the music and how I did that. That was fucking perfect
Yeah, it
timing.
was good. Boom,
And
boom, boom.
it's just,
Unpredictable.
if you think about it, right? You don't know these people. They don't know you. They're taking care of you. What do they want? What do you want? What does Zexor want? Obviously, he doesn't. He knows that he's out here for a reason. He's going to try and not let Sahiri down. And doing so, he's learned a lot of shit. And they said, get the horse. Get this horse. Do this. We gotta go here. And Zexor's just like, horse. So he doesn't know what this is. It could be that creature that chased him. He doesn't know what a horse is.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about the black, right? And this, like I said, this is covered in the first episode. And that's where Dexter learned of his of Fenrir's father disappeared. They both don't have fathers. What's going on? And so they set out, and that's when we found the tree and the handprint in the forest. We go down, and then meanwhile, this is happening. Havoc's getting his fucking shit kicked in, getting beat up, slapped, spit on, fucking dragged around,
Tied to a pole.
getting tied to a pole, getting fucking Rochambeau'd. And that's where I make the mistake of, hey, keep him alive. Oh, what's that? Tink, 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 kill the person. So we obliterate these motherfuckers. And
Hold on, before you just glaze over that. So I always think, and mainly, probably especially for Zexor, that, it's easy to confuse that in like this fantasy setting for like just killing people left and right. Do you
yeah,
do you think that would have been the first time Zexor has killed somebody?
no, when he was young, I'm pretty sure he had to kill someone. That wasn't taught in the backstory, but he had to kill a couple people.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I always think about that. It's easy to like in a fantasy, like, so in my other game, like the first time a player had killed somebody, I really tried to put that weight on his conscience. I was like, dude, this is like so Tetra in the other game. He's this druid elf as well. Dude, there's so many tie-ins between these games where I definitely see like future collaborations between both parties.
That would be fun.
Yeah, really fun.
There was one part, because obviously Zexor doesn't know his father's fate. So, with his mom dying at such a young age and growing up, during like there's cliffs obviously, and they got this magma and shit, right? So just imagine like him getting picked on, him getting pissed off and just tired, and like shoving someone, of calling him an orphan, and constantly doing that and being an ire to him. Like he would push them, and they would trip over a rock and fall into this lava chasm, and just imagine seeing someone he knew melt in fucking front of him, just start melting, like gone, like there's no trace of him left.
That
He's gone.
happened to him? He's seen that?
He pushed the guy, and he didn't mean to push him that hard because there's gravel.
Oh,
It was towards a cliff,
yeah.
and just he said, like, don't fucking do that. And obviously, it was supposed to be, fucking stop doing this type of thing, and it ended in tragedy. Other people seen that, and that was the first time he killed. He didn't mean to, and that's why all this time, like, he's always in his room. Remember how all the time we talked about it?
Yeah.
He's in his room doing his things, writing his off. In one of those notes, he keeps talking about how that is on his mind, and it's been close to 100 years since that happened. This
Now
happened when he was in
is
his
this
early
some on the
80s.
spot shit right now that you're coming up with now, or is this like you've established this as your characters?
I've established this as his first step.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Well, you heard it here first, folks. I didn't even know that.
Because I was thinking about, because like the question you asked, is this the first time he's killed? Obviously, if someone has to do something like have to harm him, they're gonna have a hard time. Because obviously Zexor had to do something,
Yeah.
and he did not want to be the one who had to kill, but he had to, go up and live with that and help him. And then eventually, like, anyone who's talked about his family, because he has no family but Siri, who brought him in. Without any doubt after that, of being indicted and such, and like having that would be part of it. Because as a child, as I was talking about in his story, when he walked, like ever since that happened with the flame and him being an orphan, flames would stay bright, would be brighter and last longer. There'd be a warmth around him. So people called him weird, and people were like, this, like, he was chosen and being special. So he got teased for being special, also teased for being an orphan. So he kind of used that to his advantage, but not his advantage. And unknowingly would bring harm to people, but
Oh,
only to a way if they talk shit about his family. He was family coded when he was younger. And because his mom protected the first vault. And that vault was also part of the area that would be connected to the, the chasm of the first fire.
yeah.
And so he has to protect his legacy. He's the one last of his family that he knows of.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that little that little cutscene we had where, you know, that fire emerged from the chasm of the first fire, and there was someone there that shielded you, but you were the only one to walk out.
Yeah, because like the fire didn't go, like, think of like a shield and how the fire goes like this and comes over it.
Yeah.
They were shielding him, but the fire was doing that to him. The fire was not consuming him because in my tidbit for it is that Zorquan pretty much chose him to be his descendant, and therefore him being chosen and of Zorquan mean to be of what it means to be a dragon. You know, the fire's emboldened down there. That is the main thing of him. It would protect him.
Yep.
So it's gonna be funny when fire actually hurts this motherfucker.
Well, I was also thinking too, like Zorquan chose him to be a wielder of the first flame.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I like that.
especially what's funnier is like what the new spell I chose, fucking just becoming a llama.
Well, like I said, so session 6, when that gets released on Friday, as I was saying, I planted some seeds.
What you got?
And they're just little sprinkles in there. Little breadcrumbs. That just nobody noticed. And I love that.
Like in that whole session.
Yeah. So like there's these things I always do these, like I love planting something tiny right here, and then like so many sessions down the road later it pops, it makes sense, that light bulb goes off. So for reference, I want to say it was session 1 of Norlatia. The party encounters this frail little old man, and he's just sitting here digging a small trench to place these stones where, he just gave the party this whole kind of background of like, oh, my people, we believe this, so I'm just trying to make this little symbol to let other people know that also believe this, like this is a safe place to come. And of course everybody just sees this little old man, he's not doing no harm. You and Tetra actually have very similar kind of ways about you. So he was also thrust into this world without any knowledge of how it works, how it functions, what they do, how they are, even so much as what language they speak. So he helped this small old man dig this hole so he can place this stone. And he gave the party, 3 more little stones with this little ruin on them of what he believes is like a symbol of protection. Like, take this with you, it'll watch over you, it'll protect you in battle or whatnot.
You have to pat it open.
And, well, that's the funny part. So, I want to say it was like 10 or so sessions down the road. This frail little old man was actually the bad guy in disguise. And he was wearing his skin, going around pretending to be him. As this, like, I don't even know what you would call it. But, like, when he showed himself, like, the town is in chaos. Goblins have raided this place. It's burning down. People are dying. And, this old man, he's like out there in the middle of the street and he's like, somebody please help me. Help me. Oh, Tetra, help me. And like, as he's like trying to rush to help and Tetra's running to him, he starts like, oh, ow, Tetra, help me. And his like body starts contorting and like the flesh peels off of his back and out steps this figure who we know as Tion. Now, session 6, you're going to hear this name again.
7. Oh, section 6, what we just completed, because, yeah, we just learned of a name of...
You just heard this name. But those tiny stones that this little old man gave him was actually a force cube, which when the party tried to step in and intervene, I was able to just snap my fingers and these little force prisons captured the players. So they couldn't do anything. And it was a ruse the whole time. And these stones that this little old man was planting around the city was actually these massive barriers to block off any outside interference. And it was just such a cool setup.
Cody?
What?
I You motherfucker. That rider coming in and say, "Oh yeah, go the fucking east over there," and the.
Oh, well, all right. Look, don't start being distrusting of like everything that comes your way.
No, no, I'm not. I'm not.
Not
But like when
everything.
you plant those seeds, I'm just like,
Yeah. Not everything's a
motherfucker.
honeypot, but like,
Yeah, I know.
I'll get you. You let your guard down, I'll get that ass.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of a couple things of what I'm gonna do. You know what I might do? Um, I might change that. Not frostbite, but rare frost, which is I think that's the cantrip to Hell's Lash. Because I was looking at it, because that's the one I want to do. Because I was thinking about it, because the fire stuff, I can go, whoocha, motherfucker, and like
Yeah.
tether it. But going back into it and doing this is like,
I can't believe you're still thinking about this.
I know,
Dude, I'm not
you're
gonna
not
lie.
really,
Last night I told you about the level up, and I swear to God, like the next hour, you were like combing your spells and like.
dude. Like sorcerer is so fucked. You get one fucking change per fucking level, so it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like that though because compared to the way we used to do it, like in our Storm King's Thunder game, it I just let you guys play around in the spell list and like do whatever.
Yeah, no, you're not letting us do that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I like this though because this makes it to where like now, for example, you're thinking like every day, like, oh shit, what spells am I gonna have to take and like prepare and like because I only
Yeah, I'm
get
getting.
you only get to
I'm
change
doing.
up every level up, right?
Oh yeah.
Or
So
you get to
here's the thing.
change one during your level up.
It's only one. It says one.
Youch.
Because if I go over here, right, into what was it, homebrew, it says number of spells change when you can do it. Number of spells. It says war or sorcerer gain a level 1.
Yeah.
Only one spell. And you know what's kind of fucking whackadelic, right? So I want to get Hell's Lash. Hell's Lash is a level 1 spell. I chose Sleep and Waterboy.
Hell's
Sleep would come
Lash
in
is
handy.
from the Ill Rigor set.
Correct. Yes. And for those that don't know what Hell's Lash is, it is this. You lash a whip of crimson energy at a creature you can see within range, creating a conduit between you and the target. The target must succeed on a con saving throw or take 44 fire damage and be tethered. A tethered creature takes 2d4 damage at the beginning of each of their turns. They can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of their turns, ending the effect on success. And then the rest is for actually ill rigor. So I'm not going to read the rest of it, but
Yeah.
for those that want to, you can look it up. But I thought about doing that because that's 44 fire, and then when it starts its turn, it's 2d4. If it fails, constantly fucking damage. But the thing is, though, it's a concentration spell. So if I do a different spell, that drops concentration, correct?
Yeah.
So I gotta
Also,
like not
if you get hit, you got to start doing those concentration checks. Which
So
I didn't really take those into account before because I always forget about them because there's so much on my plate. Like when you're DMing, you gotta be the multitasking master. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you guys on every corner.
I mean, I only have 3 concentration spells at the moment: Sleep, Cautious Caustic, Brew, and Dancing Light.
Tasha's Casa Brew's concentration?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep, concentration up to 1 minute though.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that's still 10 rounds of combat, so it's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, so if someone's already covered in acid, right? And if I cast, say, if I go from Caustic Brew to Water Bullet, that drops Caustic Brew. That means they no longer take poison damage, right?
If you lose your concentration,
Yes.
yeah. But
So
it's also weird because it says it stays in effect unless they scrape or wash it off, which takes 1 action, correct?
yeah. So it says it costs. It's an action. It's a 1 action. It's pretty much instantaneous, but it's up to 1 minute for concentration. So
Okay.
it's like, how does that work?
I think I would just play it by ear, situation wise, because like I see it as like they can take the action to get this poison acid off them,
Mhm.
or if you lose your concentration, then I guess it just evaporates and goes away off them.
Let's see.
That's how I would play it, anyways.
Yeah, it says in the 2024 rules, concentration dictates that you can only maintain one spell at a time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I guess that would lead me to my next question. If
Oh,
they,
wait. Yeah, what you can do, like you can still cast non-concentration spells. So as long as the next spell I cast isn't a concentration spell, to where I gotta concentrate,
yeah,
or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you'll still be able to like hold your Tasha's Caustic Brew and then like shoot a magic missile next turn.
yeah. Thank God that doesn't need concentration. Holy shit.
Yeah. The only reason I think they do that though is because like you got to switch your concentration to holding up other spells.
Yeah, because you gotta you gotta concentrate to conjure it in order to use it. Because you gotta think for a second, then do it.
Yeah.
Because in a sense, like if you're doing it, it takes a minute for you to fully plan that out.
Well, I'll also say like for mechanic wise, man, just the flood of ideas coming in because I like to create like unique abilities that coincide with like your backstories and like where your powers come from and how you play
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, for example, like it's really cool. So, Eratus from the Norlatia campaign and Fenrir from our campaign both have this like. I mean, you do too, but not in the sense of how they do. Both carry these like draconic powers with them, and Eratus has like flavored all of his warlock stuff in this like draconic and energy and stuff like that. Like his Eldritch Blast, he shoots them like this blue fire from his mouth. He's like Eldritch Blast, like poof poof. And I gave him this unique ability. I called it Sicko Mode, but when he calls upon this power of Bahamut, he takes on a more like dragon-like shape, and his like face starts to elongate like a dragon, and he gets these wings and the ability to fly, and he's a human and he's a warlock, but he still has a breath weapon like a dragon because it's his unique abilities that we come together and was like, hey, this is how your powers are going and I like this. Here's this ability. Use this if you like it. And I'm doing the same shit for you guys. As soon as we started playing and I get this idea like Zorquan is this like primordial draconic essence that flows through and is like kind of like the glues that's holding these realities and the fabric of universe together. As we go along, you're going to come into these powers and I'm going to give you these abilities that we sit down together and make, or I like, oh man, you did this. This is really cool. We should have it to where you can do that.
Yeah.
And the it's a team effort. So depending on how interested and how invested you get into this character, you're gonna get out what you put into it. So like, if you're just having fun playing the game, and that's as far as that goes for you, that's cool. That's fine. That's why we're here. But if you're like, oh, come to me, DM, I think it would be really cool if my character had this thing because it totally goes with how he does things. We'll think about it, talk about it, and then yeah, most of the time, I love that shit.
Yeah, I'm already thinking. I already was thinking of like ideas and stuff because like Zorquan is the essence of being what is a dragon. So it's like turning into a dragon.
Yeah, and
Like
it
a
hasn't
polymorph.
it hasn't necessarily come up in this story yet. I will
Yeah.
say it's going to. So the way the deities function in this world is never directly. So long ago in Norlatia, these deities had fought and vied for this power that they hold now. But ever since they like ascended and achieved godhood, I mean, why come back to the mortal plane, right? You're a god. What do those
Yeah.
ants have to do with you?
Fuck
So
those people.
yeah, but the fight between good and evil has never stopped. So instead of actually coming down here and handling the business themselves, they go through this world and they select these champions. So we've seen that really early on in Norlatia. Colton, who played Yonkers McTavish, he was what he assumed, what Tetra assumed to be this champion of Torm. But we found out Abram had actually set in this position beforehand. And it's been a time of peace for so long, nobody's really needed this power. So that power was sealed away. And now, throughout the story, that's not the case anymore. So same thing, that's exactly what brought Zexor to this world, was that energy, that divinely essence that flows through the world is being tampered with. And, these people like Bahamut, Zorquan, Torm, Selune, all these different deities, they see this. They see this disturbance. And now it's coming to this age of time where those powers are going to have to reemerge. Currently in Norlatia, this massive hellscape has opened up in one of the largest cities in the world of Anglar, and the world has been flooded by these demons. Now, it's a slow but sure process that they're going to continue to spread out their reach along, the mortal plane. And we've got a little bit of taste of that from those, how was it pronounced? Vargiles?
Gargoyles or whatever it is.
Vargoyles?
Don't lose your head.
Yeah. Don't lose your head, darling. That was last night's release, episode 5. Check it out. I'm telling you, man. It's good shit. Really good shit. But, as we go on, we're going to see more of how that affects this world and how that affects these parties. And the cool part is, no, I can't say that because that'd be some heavy spoiler.
Yeah, I would say
You'll
I
see.
don't know what you're going for, but
yeah, you don't know. You know, but you don't. You don't even know that you know. You don't know that you know that they knew that they knew.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Stop, I'm just here like, dude, it's fucking like 1:30 in the morning. Don't make me think like that.
Yeah, here we are at the top of the hour. We're going to be wrapping it up here soon. Gage, you got any final points of view from Zexor? Tell us, what is Zexor's first rule in his guide to the surface?
Don't trust fucking anything in a vial.
You heard it here, folks. If you see a random vial, don't pick it up and try to drink it.
Yeah, because that happened in the second session, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Don't know how. It's like, say this is a vial, you're opening it. Like, no, right here. Say this is like a vial, right?
Yeah.
And he said you go to open it, and like, Cody here was like, imagine you go to sniff something, your tongue falls, and like, you're gonna go like this.
No, that's not what I meant. I imagine like you ever got like a bottle of body wash, like you go to sniff it and you squeeze the bottle a little bit so the soap comes up so you can sniff it, but you accidentally dip your nose and get it on your nose. That's what you did when you were sniffing the potion, but you accidentally,
but you said tongue. You said tongue, so I was like, what do you mean tongue?
Well, the tongue just that was the natural one.
Yeah, am I just going like this?
You went to sniff it. But maybe like a cat, Zexor hangs out like with his tongue out of his mouth all the time, like, and then he just accidentally went, oh, that was a poison. I'm poisoned.
Like, he's like, Oh, sure, I'm gonna open this. Oh, damn, my lips are sure dry. Oh, fuck.
Dude, poison is so brutal in this world.
Man, fuck your poison. Fuck that. Dude,
Yeah.
that was so brutal. That put us in so many bad positions.
Yep. Dude, I'm
But
telling you, that's one of the easiest ways you can die.
other than that, first roll is like, besides, the potion thing, his first roll of survival of on the surface is basically it's like trust. It comes to like what you can trust. Like everything isn't what it seems because the surface is full of not unsuspecting, like unexpected things. Like this is all brand new. It's like bringing a groundhog onto the surface, and it's just like, oh shit, my shadow hides. But this time it's like you're seeing people who are like light, like this color. You're seeing the different races. You're seeing different animals you never seen. You're seeing fauna, flora, foods, buildings, structures. It's like this is all alienated to you. It's like going from Neanderthal to cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta trust and think about like what is in the surface and down below similar that you could potentially trust. So trust is the first rule.
Trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right. Well, people, that is Norlatia. And this is Zexor. And his first rule to how you handle the surface, trust. I like that. Any closing remarks?
Closing remark is okay. So the next episode is called "How to Cook Your Kobold," and you'll find out how.
Yeah.
Next, or whenever.
And we'll tell you why you even want to know that.
You always want to know how that. Dragon scales, dragon scales.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for taking a little deep dive into Zexor's Guide to the Surface. Catch us on, we release Fridays around 10 p.m. and Norlatia Game, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to this shit, on YouTube. Go check out Tales of Norlatia, the newest installment to Total Podcast Kill podcast.
Well, you say 10 p.m. Are you doing like what time zone so people can actually know?
Oh, 10 p.m. CMT, aka 11 p.m. EST.
And if you're in the Pacific, 8 p.m.
And if you're in China, what time would it be?
I don't fucking know. Find out. If you're in Australia, it's about 14 hours from then. If you're in the UK, it's about 5 or 6 hours after that. So if you're an early bird, go get the worm.
Look, just check our YouTube every single day. Just leave it up on your thing. Refresh it. See if there's a new one out. Because there might not be, but there might be the next day. All right. That has been me and Gage.
See ya.
Peace out, everybody.
Watch it.